Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Planet for Tech. I hope you all are doing great and learning lots by watching all the continuous episode of our series. So this is our third series, Python Beginner to Master. Before this, we have created two more series, PHP Beginner to Master and the Laravel Beginner to Master. So guys, in this series, this is the second episode you can say. In the first episode, we have just talked about like how we can configure Python in our laptop or desktop. And in this second episode, we are going to understand overview of Python. So what this Python is, why we use the Python, and you can say the basic feature of Python we are going to understand here. And we will also understand with the help of Python, which kind of application we can develop, whether it is a desktop application, web application, or other you can say scripting language like that. So those all things we are going to understand one by one here. So let's start. So for simplicity purpose, here I have created one short notes and I have highlighted the point like what keywords we have to remember if you are preparing for interview questions. So guys, you can see here the first point is the Python is a general purpose. So what means general purpose? So general purpose means you can say with the help of Python we can create any application like the web application, desktop application, or any command line application we can use it, and this is the dynamic and high level and the interpreted programming language. So you can see here, so general purpose, dynamic, high level and interpreted programming language. So this keyword you have to understand. General purpose means we can use it for a multiple application, multiple type of application, and dynamic means in this we don't need to define the type of the variable. It automatically takes the type as per the value whatever we are assigning. High level means it is can say the high level because we use it for creating the application directly. We don't need to understand low level programming language like a binary format, or you can say the 0 1 and other you can say code languages. We don't need to understand the binary codes. So that is why here we are going to write the code in a single simple English word what we use. So that is why it is called as the high level. And interpreted, so this is the interpreted programming language because it interprets the code line by line. So this is the first point. Python is a general purpose, dynamic, high level and interpreted programming language. Now the second most feature important feature is you can say object oriented programming, because it supports all the concepts of the OOPS. So with the help of this object oriented programming, it is very it makes us very easy to develop complex feature by reusing the existing code. So that is the feature which comes with the object oriented programming approach. So Python support the OOPS concept as well. The next one is it provides lots of high level data structure. Unlike other programming languages, there are very few limited number of data structures, but here in the Python we are going to have lots of data structure like a list, like a dictionary. So these all we are going to have in this Python. Now, the next point is versatile scripting language. It is a versatile scripting language means once you have created any program, so that is going to be used in any platform you can use it. It is versatile. It means it is not going to be wastage if the platform get changed. So it is a versatile. So the next one is the dynamic typing. You can see here. So I have already described like dynamic typing means here we don't need to define the type of the variable. It automatically determine at the at runtime like what value we have assigned. Let's suppose we are just going to assign a value. Let's suppose I'm going to give an example here. So in other programming language like we have to give like int a equals to 10. So here we are int a equals to 10. So here we are specifying the variable of a as a integer. It means it is going to take the this comparison at the compile time only. If we are assigning any string value, so it will not get compiled. It will give you the compilation error. So this is not being used in this Python. Python supports the uh, dynamic type. So it means we just assign the value and we don't need to about specify the type of this variable. It automatically determine the type of the variable as per the value we are assigned it. So this is the what the dynamic typing. Now the next point is multiple programming pattern. So as we all know, like there are lots of programming pattern like object oriented programming pattern, imperative programming pattern, and the functional or the procedural programming pattern. So it supports all kind of programming pattern. That is why it is called as multiple programming pattern supporting language. The next one is the multi-purpose programming language. So why we call it multi-purpose programming language? It is because with the help of this Python, we can create the web application, we can create the desktop application, we can create other command line application, and we can create the enterprise 3D or the 3D CAD application as well. So that is why it is called as the multi-purpose programming language. So this is the most commonly known feature of this Python. This is the multi-purpose programming language because there is no such limitation like in other programming language like there are certain limitations like we can create the command line application, we can create the desktop application, but here with the help of the Python, that is no, there is no such limitation. We can create any kind of application, that is web application, desktop application, whatever kind of application you want, you can create with the help of the Python. So due to this feature, this is called as the multi-purpose programming language. Now, the next point you can see here, it is a edit, test, and debug cycle. It means it makes the development very fast because there is no need to compile the complete code. There is no need to have the compilation because whatever you are doing the edit, so simply you have to edit and debug it. So you will be able to see the output. There is no need of compilation. That is why it is very fast to create the application. Now come to the Python features. So these all few of them we have already discussed in the overview of the Python. But here I have made a list of 12 features. So these 12 features are expected from the freshers when they are facing the interview round. So this is the most of the interview they ask like what basic feature of Pythons are. So that time they are expecting these 12 points in your answer. So guys, if you are fresher for Python and you are looking for your career in Python, so this 12 points are more important for you. So just make a note for this and you have to recall these features there itself. Now you can see the first feature is it is easy to learn and use. Why it is easy? Because there is no need of semicolon or curly bracket. Like in other programming language, for every line, just to terminate the line, we use the semicolon. And if you are creating any function or other blocks, so you need to use the curly bracket. But here in Python it is not required. Simply you have to give the indentation. So on the basis of the indentation it defines the code block. So we will look this point while we will do the coding there. So there I will describe like what this how we can create the block of the particular code. And the second point is it is a expressive language. Expressive language means why it is called as expressive language? Because with the help of very less code line, means a very small code of very small line of code, we can perform the any complex task. That is why it is called as the expressive language. Let's suppose you have to print hello world. So like in Java and other in a programming language, you need to include some packages and you need to write the complete method and you need to write the class. Then after you will be able to run the print hello world. But here in this Python, that all kind of the code is not required. Simply you can write print hello world, so it will work there. So that is why it is called as expressive language because Python can perform complex tasks using a few line of code. Now the third most important feature, it is a interpreted language because it just interpret line by line and it gives the error if there is any error, so it gives us the debug error on the particular line where it is. So that is why it is called as the interpreted programming language. It is not a compiled language, it is a interpreted programming language. So the advantage of being language is it makes debugging easy and portable. With the help of this interpreted programming language, it becomes very easy to debug the code. Now the next is the cross-platform language. So what it means cross-platform? Cross-platform means guys, if you have developed the application in Windows operating system, so doesn't matter in which OS you have developed. It is available, or it can be executed on other operating system as well. So it is the cross operating system, you can say. The same code will run in Windows, Linux, Unix, and Macintosh, etc. Means all over the operating system, the same code will work the same. So this is the feature of this cross-platform language. It is kind of, you can say, the like Java programming language is also cross-platform supporting. So the same way, Python is also supporting the cross-platform feature. Now, the next important point is the free and open source. So, free and open source means there is no need to pay any cost for this Python source code. Their official website is the www.python.org. So, from their official website, you can download the Python source code, and you can use it, and you can extend it without paying any single coin. So that is why it is called as the free and open source. Means you don't need to pay anything there. That is why it is called as open source and free. The most trending feature of this Python is object oriented language. So it supports all the concepts of the object oriented or programming language. It supports all the concepts of OOPS. So there are what concepts like classes and objects and inheritance, polymorphism and encapsulation. So these all concepts are being supported by the Python. So it is most trending feature of this Python. Now the next one is the extensible. What this means, extensible? Extensible means we can write the code in a Python, or we can write the code in other programming language like C, C++, or Java, and we can use it with the help in the Python itself. Means we can use the other language programming code in the Python, or we can use Python with the other language as well. So it is the extensible means here Python code can also be written in other language like C++, making it a highly extensible language. So this is the one of the feature of Python extensible. The next one is the large standard library. So there are lots of bunch of library available that makes our life very easy, and we can perform the complex tasks with the help of those few line of code, and the just using the function of that library. So those we are going to understand one by one in our coming episode. Now you can see here there are few library I have mentioned here. Let's suppose you are working in the machine learning uh, project. So there you can use some library like the TensorFlow and Pandas, NumPy, Keras, and PyTorch. So these are the library being used for the machine learning. And if you are developing web applications, so you can use other like Django, you can see here, and Flask and the Pyramid. So these libraries are basically used for the Python web development. Now, the next point is GUI programming support. It supports the GUI graphical user interface as well. So with the help of this, you can create the desktop application as well. So for creating desktop application, you need to understand about the few libraries. So there is a PyQt5 and Tkinter and Kiwi. So these three libraries are there, and other libraries are also there, but these are most popular. So these, with the help of this library, we can create the desktop application in Python. Now the next point is integrated. Integrated means the Python code can be integrated with other programming language as well. So that is why it is called as integrated. Means if you are developing web application with the help of Python, or you are creating any Android application, so there you can create a one API for with this Python, and you can call those API there in the your application as well. Next important feature is the embeddable. It means we can embed the code of other programming language in the Python source code. So in the Python source code, we can use other programming languages code here. That is why it is called as embeddable. The last and the most important feature is the dynamic memory allocation. So this concept you have to understand, guys. So dynamic memory allocation is nothing but the dynamic type variable, you can say. So here I have given one example as well. You can see here, if we have to define any integer variable, so in other programming language we basically use this syntax: int x is equal to 15. It means 15 is of type integer, but in the Python we don't need to write like this, so we can write it simply x is equal to 15. It means we don't need to specify the type of the variable. So this is similar to the PHP as well. In the PHP also we don't need to provide the type of the variable. It automatically determines the type of the variable and accordingly it performs the action. So this all is the feature of the Python. So this much features are there in the Python, guys. So in this episode this much only, and in the next episode, episode number 3, we are going to bring some new topics. So there we will start the practical, means we will start the basic of Python, like declaring variables and creating some control flow statements and conditional statements. Those we are going to understand there in the next episode, that is the episode 3. So for this episode, this much, guys. And if one more thing, if you are new to this channel, so don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can get the latest notification once we will upload the new next episode of this series. And if you like our efforts, so don't forget to share it among your friends. And if you have any question or doubt, so you can ask in the comment section. So thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you.